to WNSTV channel. We're into a week here, and I'll tell you, Dennis Colazzos does 3 to 5 here on Thursday. Some weeks I come on and I rant and I rave, and I think one of the things that I've enjoyed about being on Dennis's show is I usually just stretch out, and I get to be the guest. But when I bring Dennis on Tuesday, I usually don't have like a huge agenda. But this week, I got my hat turned backwards on the internet because we got real business to discuss here. Dennis, welcome in, man. How's life? How was your weekend?
It was great, man. I like the look. Looks like you've got a business going on. You got your game face on. Good look, good look.
Well, I'm going to I'm letting the silver grow in the beard. I don't know if you've noticed that on the internet. I'm going to get rid of that soon. I'm telling everybody, just for this season, because it's my 25th year, on December 13th, I'll celebrate 25 years on Baltimore radio. I'm saying it's the wisdom growing in. So that's that silver wisdom under my chin. And, part of the wisdom is, look, I want to do the Ravens with you, but I want to do Adam Jones first because I know it was a very hot topic with you, with Colin Kaepernick and sitting down. You were very passionate about it. I agreed with large stretches. Let me say this. You know how sometimes Brian Billick will always say to me, he goes and watches other people give speeches, even though he gives speeches. And he said, if I can watch someone speak for an hour at some motivational thing or on TV or on the internet, and I get one thing that I take with me the rest of my life, and I give it an hour, I'm in pretty good shape if I take one nugget. So I want to give you all the credit in the world for this because you gave me a great nugget. And I still don't I don't think Colin Kaepernick should go to jail or be thrown out of the league or should be castigated. I don't believe any of that, and I know we differed on that. But the one thing you said is this country is so great that no one has ever tried to swim away from it. And, I will never forget that. That's your piece from the last week that I'm going to take with me. Now, Adam Jones is piled on. What say you, Dennis Colazzos?
Well, you know how I feel as an immigrant to this country and loving the flag and what it stands for and understanding the sacrifices that all great men and women made and are still making so we can have these type of conversations, these shows, and freedom of speech. I mean, I think everybody should live 1 year overseas so they can have some perspective of what's going on out there. Now, Adam Jones, just like everybody else, Nestor, in life we see what we're looking for. So what are these players looking for? And their experience is their truth. So that's the other part of the equation. That's the whole spectrum, I guess. They're looking for something that's just not there. You can always create something that just isn't there by your viewpoint, and it's baloney. We take sports to escape some things, and for the players, there's other forms, other ways that they can do things that can make a difference and get involved. But to me, sports isn't the way.
In what way? I mean, Adam Jones said that it's a white man's game. That was his quote, and I don't know how that could even be disputed, Dennis. I mean, I know you haven't been to the ballpark lately. We've been through that. But you put the television on, you see who goes to the games. I did 30 ballparks in 30 days. I don't see that as being incendiary in any way. And I think for him to say, if I were to take a knee, if I were to sit in my sport, I would not have anybody on my side, right? I mean, I do see that. So if his protest is about the community or about division between black and white or the laws being different or equality being different or the treatment of individuals by the police, by politicians, by employers is different, I'm with you. I think pooping on the flag is probably not a really effective way to incite change. Now, it has incited conversation, and for that, I think anything that can incite some sort of insightful conversation, given where we are with social media, I think that's a good thing if we're talking about it respectfully, and I think that's where you and I would differ on it. You think by taking the knee, he's being disrespectful to start the conversation, correct?
Yeah, correct, Nestor. A couple of things here. I never realized that baseball was a white man's sport until Adam Jones pointing it out because, again, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking at. So, again, his experience, his truth, just like my experience, my truth. The other thing is, and this is where as much as I dislike Colin Kaepernick, I have to give him respect. I don't think Colin Kaepernick took a knee expecting any help. I don't think he took a knee expecting other players to do so. If Adam Jones feels like taking a knee or doing something else, raising his fist, then by all means go ahead. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but I think whatever he feels, he shouldn't worry about whether he's going to get support or not.
So how do we improve the country then if you're a football player and you're rich and you have this platform and you have Twitter? By the way, his Twitter followers are up 35,000% since he started. So he is now a go-to guy, right? I mean, for the media to speak on social issues, for better or for worse. That's what he has created, given his platform. I don't know. We talked about Muhammad Ali dying, right? I mean, 10 weeks ago, and we had differing opinions on that as well, right? I mean, there was a guy who was the most outspoken guy at a time when it wasn't safe even to be outspoken. Well, it still might not be safe to be outspoken at this point. Depends on who you ask at this point. But, I find Adam Jones I find the baseball part of this that's very logical for a sports writer to go up to a baseball player and say, why hasn't this happened here, right? I mean, that's a fair question from Bob Nightingale, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The other part of it, Nestor, if an athlete wants to make a difference, they have to go no further than Chicago, where they have 40, 50, 60 murders a week. There's things that they can do. They can get involved. I miss the heck out of Ray Rice. Ray Rice was great for the community. He got involved with the kids. He spent more time with the kids of Baltimore City than any other athlete in history. And that's the thing is, athletes, they can stroke a check, but there's a big difference in writing a check, if that clears your conscience, versus going down there, rolling up your sleeves, getting your hands dirty, and really make a difference. You can talk about it, or you can be about it.
Dennis Kalatsas from Coons Florida Security Boulevard. Of course, they sponsor our tech service. And, of course, on Thursday, the SSV on WNST heard here on from 3 until 5 and then replayed on Sunday mornings, getting you ready for the game. All right, let's talk football. Back onto the field here, which I know is you're real passionate about this. Not that you're not passionate about the flag. By the way, I will be using that no one has ever jumped in the water to get away from this country. I'll be using that again, Dennis. I love that.
It's it's God's honest truth, and that's true. You don't see anybody else doing that. People risking their lives, throwing the kids into the ocean for a chance to come to America. If it happens reverse, that's when you know we really have problems. But we don't have any real problems. Nothing that we can't work through.
It's sort of like the Ravens' offense right now, right? I mean, no problems they can't. There's my segue for you, then.
Yeah.
I think we all saw some confusion. And look, man, you run a great auto dealership. If you had to take a part from over here and a part from over there and a part the first day, no one would know the system. To me, I sort of marveled. I marveled last year when Ryan Mallett ran the offense. Being here for 7 days or whatever it was, I would marvel if Joe Flacco got in there with Steve Smith, Dennis Pitta, and Perryman, who have never really been on the field together, and went out there and didn't have some level of confusion and a little bit too car of a pile up there going on.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy, that's true. But again, the biggest thing that I saw that I didn't like was the lack of a commitment to the running game. I thought they ran the ball 41%, but then I took away Joe Flacco's 3 game-ending kneel downs, got him down to 38% running, 62% passing. Mark Trestman has never had an offense that was in the top 16 in rushing attempts. He's never had a top 10 rushing offense. I'm really concerned about this team's ability to commit to the run. Now, we can talk about the 2 rookies on the left side. Buffalo still has presented a very tough defensive line, but the lack of commitment to the run, that's how you get some play action. That's how you get some consistency. The Ravens let up 160 yards total offense. They never trailed, and I was pulling my hair out because they just wouldn't run the ball. Never mind the 3rd and 1 calls that Joe kept coming out in the shotgun.
Yeah, it looked from week 1 like we're happier with our passing playbook than our running playbook. And part of that may be what he's seeing out on the backfields. Part of that may be the feeling that on the left side, they're better pass blockers than they are run blockers at this point. But I'm with you. We're going to have to run the football at some point. And I'm not all against this committee thing. I love Forsett. I do. And I love that he's healthy and a part of this thing. I think every game you could give him the ball 10, 12, 14 times, and he might rush for 85 or 90 yards in a very limited role. I don't see him lugging the ball 22, 25, 27 times, nor does he have to, given what West represents as well as Dixon, hopefully later on in the season. And at some point, Buck Allen will get off the milk carton too, I hope.
Correct. And that's what was so bad about this offense, Nestor. They looked predictable. They had no balance. Why was Kyle Juszczyk and Terrence West on the bench on 3rd and 1, and why was Joe Flacco in the shotgun? Of course, the one play he audibled out of it, and hit Mike Wallace for a 66-yard pass play. But I'm watching Sunday Night Football. I'm watching the Patriots and the Cardinals, and they were creative on 3rd and short. both teams. And I'm thinking, if I'm the Ravens, if you just copy the playbook for short yardage, you'll be miles ahead of what we saw this past Sunday from the Ravens offense.
Are you complaining about a win, Dennis Colossus?
I'm complaining about the offense. I'm not complaining. I said the same thing. I didn't even know that John Harbaugh said he wasn't pretty, he wasn't perfect. And that was my blog on WNST. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect, but we'll take it. I'm just looking for improvements. I'm also looking for some consistency, some unpredictability on the offensive side of the ball. I just thought 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, coming out on the shotgun, there's only so many things you can do. You're telegraphing a pass. I want to see some power, smash mouth, AFC North football. They've got the personnel to do it, and why not commit to the run is beyond me.
They're going to be 2-0 on Sunday, right, Dan?
You know what? I would have rather played against RG3. The last time we played Josh McCown, he kind of picked us apart. Now, Terrell Suggs says when you go on the road, you pack your defense and your running game. I hope Mark Trestman is paying attention, because if Joe Flacco puts the ball up 40 times or more, this team's going to come home 1-1. They're going to get their feelings hurt. My thing is, they've got to run the ball 55% of the time. This Sunday, they'll come home winners.
He is Dennis Colossus from Coons Ford of Security Boulevard. They bring you our WNST Tech Service for breaking news. And, of course, that happens anytime, anywhere. 10 years strong now. Dan, tell them what you're doing out there at Security Boulevard, my man.
Well, you know, we're running the ball. We're committing to 3rd and short. It's a power offense. We take care of our customers. 0% for 72 months, plus cash back right now from Ford Motor Company. The deals have never been better. I'm driving a beautiful F-150 crew cab, aluminum body. It is just such a terrific vehicle. My wife's driving a Mustang convertible. A lot of our customers are driving all kind of vehicles, Explorers, Edges, Focus, Fusions, you name it. The products have never been better. The deals have never been better. My body shop just built a number 3 pay booth. We got cars all over the place, Nestor. 2,000 vehicles on the lot. I'm thinking about buying Security Square Mall and expanding my operation across the street.
Well, that would open things up a little bit, right?
Just build a bridge across. You know, I got this vision and a racetrack around it. They got to slow you down.
Everyone's always wanted a bridge across Security Boulevard. I mean, we need one of those, obviously.
Absolutely. Plus a racetrack.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man, Peter DeLutis drives one of your cars, a Mustang, but he went from like the hard-top Mustang to the soft-top at some point last year. I didn't realize it until I'm like, hey, what happened to the roof of the car? It's gone. Last couple months, we've gone to a few concerts together, Billy Joel and a couple Springsteen shows. And I got to tell you, on a 95-degree day in Philadelphia, when you can roll the top down at 12:15 after Bruce is done singing Bobby Jean and have the roof off, I mean, that convertible lifestyle. I mean, I know I'm getting old and there's a little wisdom on my chin, but I may revert to some of my youthful vigor at some point and, go topless, as they say.
Man, you put that drop top down, you crank on the AC, and you just start cruising slowly downtown, any downtown area. It's just a good vibe, Jack. It's just a good way to travel, man.
Air on, top off.
Absolutely.
That's the way you recommend it. All right, good enough. Dennis Colossus, he can be heard here on Thursdays from 3 until 5. I will be one of the candidates coming on and guesting and blabbing about something. I've also written a blog about the Orioles' attendance issues. I may take that on Thursday when I'm on Dennis's show here. It is the Sunday Sports Voice, the SSV on WNST. Dennis Colossus, you can find him out on Twitter, Facebook, and anywhere that cars are sold. You can find him out on the internet. He'll sell you a car. He's a good man. Dennis Colossus. Be here Thursday. You can find me anytime, anywhere on the interweb, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook Live, and our YouTube WNSTV channel where we stream everything live. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 and WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.